Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's day 38. Did I actually set that up? Yes, I did. It's day 38. We have a lot of game dev to do and only one weekend to do it. I got a lot done offline. I got the mouse cursor working. Bum, bum, bum. Pick this up. Now we can use the mouse cursor on inventory things. And the way that I did that is simple. It's simple. It's go back to the inventory, no, the input handler. I just added a signal. We're just calling a signal, and then we're telling everything in the universe that needs to know about the mouse cursor. Connect to this signal. Mouse state update. Whenever we change the mouse state, we update it, and then basically all controls that care will capture that signal, and they will update themselves accordingly. And it's probably going to be a problem in the future for me, but whatever. I did a whole bunch of other stuff, bunch of refactoring. We've got item stacking to do, and we've got a bunch of other things to do, so I'm just going to get into it. We last left off with, we've got item stacking working, where we can pick up a bunch of coins, and then we can just drag them into each other. But that's kind of meh, so we need to put a little number. I'm going to guess in the bottom left corner, maybe in the top left corner. In one of the corners of this, we need to put a label, and we need it to contain a tiny number. And that number needs to be updated every time the stack updates. So step one, let's get that number. It should not be hard to just put a number, but I don't have a scene for this. I've been just doing this in code, so we're going to have to jimmy the number via code. So this just might be a case of like stack num equals why am I no var stack num equals new label dot new. There we go. We need to position it. Let's put it at 4.0, 4.0, and then we need to parent it to this. And we also need to put a number in there. Dot text equals 1. Oh my gosh, stir 1. Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. That number is too big. We need to make it smaller. Font. Add theme font override. What is this? What is the string name? I just want the font to be smaller. Could I do just get theme font string name? How do I get the string name that I need to put into this function? None of these return a string name. Get theme font returns a font. Oh, but I have to pass in the name? What is this name? Okay, I know what a string name is. Creates a local override for a theme font with a specified name. Local overrides always take precedence when fetching themes. An override can be removed. Maybe I just give this a name like cranberry or something random, and it'll work just fine. Stack number. The font can be 8. I don't know. Font size override. There we go. Did that even work? I don't know. Maybe 8 is the default. No, it's not working. Make label font. Get node label, get custom fonts, font set size, new size. What is this function? What? Normal font size? No. Label settings. Okay, maybe that's good. Stack num dot label settings equals label settings dot new. So font size equals 4. That works, and that's way too small. But that, which is great. That means it works. Let's not put it in 4.4. Let's put it at maybe 2.2. One. Why does it feel like it's not centered? Like maybe 1.0? Whoop. I guess the digits are not necessarily 1, -1. They're not necessarily square digits. Why does that feel better? -1 feels better? Really? Okay, whatever. We have this stack num. We can tell this to update stack num. And if we update it to 1, just hide it. Stack num equals num if num equals 1. That should make it disappear. Yep, it's still there though. Now all we need to do is whenever we add an item, or whenever the stack signal gets updated, we need to update the stack num. So set that to 0 because it starts empty. We should say 0 if it's empty. If we encounter, and if we get an item, we should do ourselves a solid and update the stack number. Where is the items? Just for testing purposes, let's set this to 0. And then let's make it so that when we pick up an item, where are we setting? When do we set x equals to item and inv, or item and inv equals x? Oh, we do that way down here? Okay. If x, that's already being done up here. Update stack num x dot stack quantity. Okay, that should do. So now when we pick up an item, we should have 1. And this won't update because we haven't captured that signal yet, but if we move this around, we see that we have a stack number. Yay. Let's go to the item. Let's declare a new signal on stack update. And let's throw that signal every time we set this. Okay, it's a signal name. It's a string. Should we emit the actual number? Yeah, that'll make things easier. Great. Now we need to go to our inventory point and connect to that. X.connect to... Why is this a string name? Oh. Dot, where's the signal I just declared? On stack update dot connect. There we go. Okay, I was confused for a second. We need to define that function that we just defined. Update stack num. And then okay, that should be it. This should be a clean functional. It's not. All right. Well, are we calling that function? Let's first see, are we emitting that signal? Are we updating the stack one? I think we did confirm that we are doing that. Okay. Stack quantity is updated, setting X to null. I don't need this collider print line. Can I just disable that? That's in the input handler. Print. Don't need this at this time, but thank you. The stack quantity is updated. Is that a thing that's happening on the server but not the client? Oh, that could be a thing. Item. Let me see the item. This might just be something that we attach to the collectible component. No, position component. What is this collectible component looking for? Nothing. Nothing internal to item. Oh. Okay. All collectible component things are items. Now, I can't assume that. Will you just make a new synchronizer? Change. No! Sorry. Add child node, multiplayer synchronizer. Create. Add the property. Where is it? Okay, it's not defined, so I need to just stack quantity. Done. That should make it work. Yeah, all right. But is there a way to do that without using the synchronizer? Okay, that works. I'm not sure. How are we doing it before? So that is being handled in the inventory swap command. We are short-circuiting that in the RPC handler, which is just going to the inventory component and saying, oh, if these are the same thing and the stack limit is greater than 1, try stacking them. No, I think this is the best way. And we can make this a not component because I don't think we're going to have anything other than item stacking. So, and this is relatively lightweight. Synchronize it. We can afford to be ridiculously inefficient with our synchronizers, and it won't hurt performance that much. We can continue. Done. We need to make the item stack behavior work with get item. Why am I doing this? It's literally right here. We're just going to call move item.rpcid. And that is just going to the player inventory, the object handler. Nope, that is the inventory component. We're calling this function. Okay. So we actually want to search all items for first. And if we get at that item, does this return? This returns an array of items. Okay, so this will return all instances. So we have to give it the item name. What am I using this function for? Oh, it's just for this door, and we're just searching for key. And we are searching the script name. Okay, so we're looking for the class name. Okay, so this is taking in a class name. Should this be a string name then instead of a string? Does this still function as I expect it to? It does, okay. Okay, so we'll go back up here. We'll go ahead and call if the item param has a stack quantity of greater than 1. First of all, this should just be cast as an item. Greater than 1. Then we think about search all items for var items in inv search all items for. What did I get class? It's probably this. And then let's just print. For now, let's just print that to see if we're in that ballpark. Why are we not in that ballpark? Okay, so what is item param? We're not even calling this function. Six item animatable body 2D. Okay, what is the stack quantity of a coin? It should be greater than 1. It's 1. Why is it 1? Oh. This shouldn't be stack quantity. This should be item data.stack limit. Whoops. All right. Smart. Okay. Now, if I pick up this coin, it should find nothing. Actually, it's going to crash. Invalid access to property key item slot on a base object of type. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that doesn't exist. No coins now, but now there is a coin. Now there are 2 coins. Now there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. What we want to have happen is basically the same thing as how we, where is it? Swap item. Basically this whole rigmarole. Well, specifically just this. Let's copy this. I love copying logic. For item in same items in inventory. What I would like to do is not call these slot 2 and slot 1 because that's really dumb. Let's get the stack slack of the item we're looking at. If the stack slack is greater than the item params quantity, then delete it and we're done. Let's call it dest item because I'm sick of it. Just calling it item is hurting my brain. Else we continue because we might end up splitting this stack across multiple things in our stack, and we might not be able to consume the entire stack. That should never happen, but it is. Well, I shouldn't say never. That it'd be weird if that happens, but it can happen if something weird is happening in the player's inventory, and we should just be prepared for that. Item param.stack quantity is minus equals. Okay. This should just work. We shouldn't need to do anything. So we'll go through this loop. If we find a place to completely consume the item, we'll put it there and then we'll move on. If we can partially consume it, we'll do that, but then we'll keep iterating through this loop. Once we've done that, if the item param has not been consumed yet, it'll still have a diminished stack quantity. Then we just add it to our inventory. Okay, and if I drop this, we don't have a way to split items, otherwise I could test. I should be able to. Oh, there's actually no way for me to fill up my inventory now. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Done. I would like quick looking to function with this, and you see a coin. We can do something simple about that. For item, so every function has a quick look function, and we can just make items. I don't need this anymore. We can just make items a little special snowflake. Item datas are not going to just be a single string anymore. They're going to be an array of 2 strings, the singular and the plural. And I think that's all we need. So if item data var look strings if stack quantity greater than 1, return look strings dot 1, else return look strings dot 0. Okay, that's it. And now we just have to go into our item data, make this return a array instead of a string. And then we just go into each item. And we do this, which is gross, but oh. And maybe there was a way to like program in some grammar rules to be like automatically turn any string I pass into it into a plural. Maybe that was a possibility. But too bad. Some of these should not be like stackable, so I don't particularly need to put anything there, but I guess I can do it. And I wonder if it's possible. I know it's not because I've looked this up already, but I wish it was possible to define a YAML and then just put all of the quick look strings into a centralized location instead of spacing them out like this. This seems annoying to space out the strings like this. Now that I think about it, it has to be possible to do that in Godot, because that's how you do like localization. How does Godot recommend doing localization? There's got to be something to do. Look that up. Give me that to look up in the future, because that would make this easier if I could just, yeah. Okay. So now, when we pick up anything, first of all, the quick look should not be broken. You see a coin. You see a key. You see coins. Oh, uh-oh. How did we get to this point? Are we updating the stack number before we've called ready? How is this failing? What? Okay, so we're creating a UI element. Yes, I get that. The UI element is built. When does the UI element be created? Oh, it's a scene. Shouldn't that call ready? Like, ready should be called at this point. How is this not exist yet? Oh, this isn't, oh, that's the UI element. Okay, so the UI element is instantiated. We're calling build UI. We're calling new UI inventory slot.new. Oh, ready isn't getting called until we add this as a child way down here. Oh, can we just move this up? Is there any particular downside if we just move this up? Oh, we can't do that because it doesn't exist yet. Whoops, did I copy the wrong thing? Yeah, I did. Okay, so we've got a UI node. UI base, add child, hbox. And then the hbox, we're adding that. We're adding the UI node to the hbox, and then we're adding the hbox to the UI base. And the UI base is okay. All this to say, we're not calling ready, so we can't put the stack num creation stuff here. Func create stack num. Does that work? Okay, yeah. But everything, yeah, everything, it works. Everything works. Something I'm curious about. If I say that health potions stack, how does the chest stack them? Does the chest stack them when I tell that to start? It does. Woo. Let's not do that just yet, but done. No, I was in the middle of testing that. Quick look still works. This thing doesn't, but whatever. Now that we have everything set up, we can increase the stack limit. All right. There is one more thing I want to do. We want to, in our init, do I want to be doing that here? I don't feel like I should be. I feel like I should have a function here. Get stack signal. Because the signal already exists, so I should just func stack signal. And then we'll go into the items data and we'll define this function and we'll say never call this function. And then we'll go into the coin. Nope, that's not the coin. We'll go into the coin. We'll define that function. Let's define it above the quick look. Item dot get sprite. Is that right? Or is it 1 and 0? It might be 1 and 0. Yeah, that might be right. And then we need to do one more thing. We need to connect that signal item dot stack on stack update dot connect item dot stack signal. Okay, and now as soon as we pick up a coin, didn't work. Well, are we calling this function? We are not. Okay. Are we calling this function? We are not. Okay, so we're not connecting that signal correctly. Item.onStackUpdate.connect. Item.stackSignal. Why doesn't that work? Oh, it's returning a number. We're not catching it because we're not collecting that number. Where's the item? You need to catch the number. Num int. And we can just pass that in. It's perfectly fine. Too many arguments. We can't. Bum, 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 bum. If num is 1. There we go. That should work. Yeah. Let's make it greater than 2. And also, let's stop spamming our output. Yeah, we got coins. Okay, one more thing, and then we can move on. We did this. Let's go to the UI element. Make it invisible unless the number is greater than 1, because I don't want to see 1s everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We got to make bread and potions stackable and bottles. Let's make empty bottles stackable. Let's do that right now. Just to see how that works. Okay, let's drink some of these. Where do they go? Oh no. Why are they turning into coins? Okay, let's fix that real quick. Not all items should stack with all items. Okay, so this doesn't have a class name. Do coins have a class name? They don't. Okay, that's the problem. So we should make sure that all items have a class name, because now I'm relying on that. Yeah, okay, so that works. But if I drink the potion, it doesn't immediately stack it. And the reason for that is because I'm probably not adding it to my inventory. I'm probably just converting it in place. So that will resolve itself when we to do make bread and healing potions stackable. Update their use functions. All right. But we can say this is done. I really want to just hide this. There's got to be a way to do that in Obsidian. I don't remember, though. We need to add item splitting. I'm going to stop for just a second. Take a break. Be right back. Whoa. Okay. Item splitting. We need this thing to pop up a UI whenever we need a new command, split. And then we need this thing to pop up a UI that prompts the player how much do you want to split. And that's just going to be a number between 1 and the stack quantity. And then we will translate that into a command. And then the command is responsible for creating a new item, figuring out how much stack quantity needs to be between them, and then done. Let's just do all that. Easy. All the words I just said, let's just make them code. Step 1, we need a new UI element. Probably going to need to move these around coming soon. I don't want to have like 30 scenes in my UI. This is going to be a user interface. Split menu. And this is going to contain a UI element. I don't have the spoons to be making GUIs right now, but let's just power through. I need the scene. And then inside of that, we need a label and a draggable bar. And then 2 buttons. Oh, this is so tiny. Can we make it bigger? Editable. Okay. By how much? Okay, and then we need 2 buttons, like OK and cancel. Why did I make VBox containers and HBox containers? I don't know, but okay. And cancel. We need a sliding bar. H slider. Okay. Give me an H slider. Yeah. I would like there to also be a number. So I don't just expect the player to just wing it and know. I actually think there should be 2 numbers. The source item and the destination item. So maybe this needs to be an HBox controller container. No, not like that. Yeah, like this. And then on the left, we put in label 1. And then on the right, we put label 2. Source stack, dest stack. Okay. Let's give this a number, 0 and 0. And then let's make this bigger. Layout, custom minimum size, 50, 100. Okay. The UI is here. I just need to make this functional now. So when we create this, we need the game to set us up with some variables because we are going to be the one sending the command out. So we need, if we hit cancel, we just throw ourselves away. Move on. Let's do that first. let's implement the easy thing. Cancel button. Okay, signal. This one. We just throw ourselves away. We don't need this. I don't think we want to use a ready function because I don't know. Maybe we do. I'm just trying to think, how am I going to call this function? So I'm going to instantiate a new split item menu. And then I need to prime it with the source item, the destination item, and then I need to add it as a child to my scene. So I should get a function, func set items, source item, item, dest item, item. So we need to track those just necessarily. Var source item, item, var dest item, item. But I also need to set up the stack slider. The minimum should be 0, and the maximum should be the dest items. No, the source items stack quantity. Yes. Also, it would be really nice if this was not a float, but an int. I think that this accomplishes that. Okay. We should actually say if no dest item, assert false. This shouldn't happen. Call set items first. I don't need this. Is that it? I mean, we need to define this OK button. Connect. On OK button pressed. Create new command. Split items command dot new. You know what occurs to me? When I'm splitting, there's actually only one item. Why did I think there were two items? No, there's only one item that's being split. Sorry, I'm spacing out. Oof. Yeah, excuse me. Let's go ahead and let's just copy the get item command. Split item command. Was this really set to a static body 2D? No, set that to item. Why? It's called get item. Okay, so we'll call split item. This is the init. We need to pass in the player, which we have. Input handler dot player source item dot execute, and then queue free. Call the command get out of here. Oh, no, I need to also pass in one more thing. The amount to split by. Split amount. Okay, we need to go here. RPC any peer to do bounds checking. Func split item. Target ID split amount. Okay, we can get the splitter. We don't need the splitter though. Yeah, we do. Maybe we don't. Var target equals maybe I should make that a function. Okay, and then we need to, do I just call a split function, split item command? This should always be an item. This should always be a mechanism. Should always be an actor. Maybe I don't need this right now. But we can call target.split item by split amount. right? Let's have this return an item. That'll make this easy. Var new item equals that. There should be a function I can call, like split item. No, create item. I need to access that from here. First of all, let's update the stack quantity. No. Let's make the new item first. Var new item equals item. Nope. Okay. Where's my item spawner? Network. Do I have an item spawner floating around in the ether? Yes, I do. So I just need to call this spawn item. Input handler.main.spawn item spawn. Where is it? Dot spawn. What's the function? Call spawn where do I just call spawn item and then I pass in the data, which is easy because it's our data. We're duplicating ourselves. So we pass in our own item data to the item spawner. It'll create a new item. We will then be responsible for giving it the parameters. No, we don't need to. Yeah, we should. No, we shouldn't. We should take this item, add it to main, and then we should give it to the inventory component. We should let the RPC handler give it to the inventory component and say, new item. And we're done. We're done. I just need to figure out what is the actual function that I should be calling to spawn the item. Spawn item. It looks like that is the correct. So let's do that. Yeah, this is not the item. There we go. Item, and then we pass in self.item data, and then we're done. Great. Nope, that's almost correct. We just got to return this item. Almost correct. We still need to update our stack quantities, but let's get prepped for that. All right, so we are going to subtract from our stack quantity we should make sure that we're not splitting equal to our stack quantity. We should do that check on the RPC side. If the RPC handler is told well, okay, let's just do a quick sanity check. If split amount equals 0 or split amount equals stack quantity return, just give up. We're done. Otherwise, let's assume that we are not putting ourselves in a weird state. Let's take our stack quantity, subtract the split amount, and then let's take the new item dot stack quantity equals the split amount. I don't need to add child if I'm calling the spawn item function, right? That should be handled automatically. We're done, actually. This is entirely all that we need to do. We've got this new item. The RPC handler needs to put that into a inventory component. So our actor get sender player node, and then we get the player inventory, and then dot add item to inventory, new item. Done. Great. That should be fully functional. We should go to our UI and we should tell it when we press OK. Oh, we never actually defined split amount. If stack slider dot value. I'm actually going to change this to stack quantity -1, and then we're going to increase the minimum by 1. Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. I forgot. These numbers need to be updated. So, this first number should be stack limit minus the value of this. And then the second number should be whatever the value of this is. So we need to connect a signal. And then whenever the value changes, first of all, when we set the item, we need to update the labels. So let's just get those in. Source stack dot value equals source stack slider dot max value. Okay, there we go. Now we need to update every time that dial moves. We need to get the value of the stack slider. Oh, we have the value. Value dot minus source item dot item data. Oh no, I can just get the max quantity. Okay. There we go. There we go. Let's make these ints, because I don't think that will happen automatically. It will happen for the slider, effectively automatically, but not otherwise. Ah. There we go. Now I just need to make this. I need to make this scene. So I need to add a new button to the RCM. Split button. Oh boy. All right. Let's make it a thing here. Set target. Split button dot visible equals. If it's an item and it's in a player inventory and target dot item data dot split. No, I should say target dot quantity stack. Is quantity the word I used? That doesn't seem like the word I used. What's the word? And I did use stack quantity. All right. Greater than 1. Only try to split stacks. Okay. So on look button press. Okay, yeah. I just need to add a new signal now. On button pressed. Too early for dreads. What's going on? Got a lot to get done, so we got to get rolling. That's all. The list will not wait. I didn't get the memo. We roll when we roll. That's just coding strikes whenever it wants to strike. I don't get enough motivation. So when I do get motivation, I take advantage of it. We can... we have a target. Okay. So we can create the split. All we have to do here is just create a new split GUI and then just pass the buck. We're done. I don't like that I have these print lines here. Let me get rid of them because I moved them all into the commands. Var. What's the word? Split item menu equals split item menu. Did I not name this? Load this thing. dot initialize. You get up at 4 a.m. This could be out 3 hours of pure silence. Yeah. I mean, you take what you can get. I know that feeling, though. I won't be free in about 4 hours, and I won't be free until the next day, so. We're still dragging and dropping? No, we're trying to split items at this point. We've got the item stacking in, and now we need to be able to undo that. So split item menu dot. Can I assign this? I never named this as a class. Yeah, let's name it. Class name split item menu. That will make things slightly easier. Dot. Oh, I didn't type it right. Dot. Yes, that's the one. Thank you. Are items a Godot resource or your own construct? They're my own construct. They contain resources. Set item. Target. We're done. Oh, visible equals false. All right, that should be it. EG file or DB. They are this. They're a scene, actually. I don't know. TSCN. And then they also contain, where is it? Item data. This is a resource. Join the server. All right. I don't know why I'm getting some lag. That's a bad sign. Okay, so now if we open up the thing, we get the split menu. It immediately crashes. Okay, it's not called initialize, is it? What is it called? Instantiate. That's what it's called. I'm up the speed. Here's a biscuit. Sick. I love biscuits. All right, we've got the whole lot of them. It's not something broken. What is it? Invalid assignment of property key max. Okay, so I thought that some auto magic would happen and it would go, oh, you're passing an int to me? I'm a float. But you know what? I'll just convert that for you. No, it will not do that. Great. Do I need to do that anywhere else? Maybe not. Maybe this needs to be converted though. Oh no, wait. Yes, it does. Because that's, I call it source stack, but it's actually a label, not a stack. Brilliant. All right, this should work now. Just kidding. We're going to figure out what else is broken. But after 2 more attempts, that should work. Invalid assignment of property or key max value of value type float. Oh, it's complaining that this doesn't exist. Oh. Because it's not ready yet. Ah, shoot. And it won't be ready until we add it to the node. But we can't do that because we immediately crash if I do that. But I don't remember why I was doing that. All right, new strategy. We just automatically remember to do that. We just automatically remember. 4.3 coins. Stacks of items are ints. They are ints, but UI elements don't function in ints. They function in floats. Int handler dot main dot add child this. Okay, that should work. With the power of nodes, it didn't work. Invalid assignment of property. Oh, this is this is a string. Right? Let me just actually verify. What's the value? Where are the properties? Here they are. None of these properties are value. Where's the values? Control F value. Okay, what is this actually supposed to be? Hold on. We have the scene. Where's the scene? There it is. Text. That's what it's called, not value. Ugh. Amateur hour. I'm gonna call this label just to stop hurting myself. Okay, does this work, or should I just convert it now? Yeah, it's recognizing. All right. Now this should work. Okay. Split. Yeah. Oh, these aren't. No, wait, what? Invalid assignment of property or key value with the type string on base object type label. Oh, because these are text, not label. Value. Yeah, okay. Split. Something's wrong with my math. What? All right, hold on. Wait, why is it crashing? What? This is not the point where it should be crashing. Okay, so 3 and 1, that's correct. And now I've just updated to 2 and 1. Without moving it. This is the wrong thing. So stack slider max value. That should be 3 minus value, and the min value is 1. Okay. The max, it should be max value plus 1. So we have 8. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So now if we split to 4 and 4, immediate crash, that's fine. Invalid access, we're trying to access the item data of an object, but it doesn't exist. No, that should exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? What do you mean this item param is null? What? Wait, why is this null? Did this function fail? Did this not spawn an item? Let's see. You'll have to instantiate a new single one, then append more to that slot. It's true. We need to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row. Where's my... Did this even print? Is that the case? Which one? Oh yeah, no, this is crumbling now. Are we calling this function? I didn't see print. We're calling the split item by function. Are we calling this function? I don't see that function getting called. What if we put a breakpoint? No breakpoint. We're not calling that function. Why not? Target.split item by. Split amount. Assert my var is less than 10 comment here. What does that do? Message string. Show a message. Asserts the condition is true. If it's false, an error is generated and the current method returns a default value. When running from the editor, failed asserts also cause a debugger break. An optional message can be shown in addition. You can use this to provide additional details. So if I say like assert false, false, you don't have to clean up asserts later if you haven't wrapped them. So how does that represent? Oh, it just shows up in the... that's fine. I see. It shows up in the error. Did we get to new item is null? Okay, new item is null. So this function is just not getting run. For whatever reason, invalid access to property key item data on a base of data. No, wait. Oh, this isn't the thing. Okay, so this is an item. And items have this function that I'm calling. And you have to respect me calling this function. Oh, wait a minute. Am I bouncing off of... Am I bouncing off of this function? What's the split amount? If new item. Split amount is 0. No, that's not correct. Let me see this command. Oh, I never said it. I'm smart. Well, no wonder it's not working. All right, what new problem are we running into? Non-existent function append in base resource coin. Okay. Okay, I get it. Data.append. Oh, I'm using this function wrong. Because this is supposed to be an array, not a... I'm not supposed to pass the item data directly to this. I'm supposed to be passing an array. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. I am remembering now that this is probably a mistake that I'd be making. This actually needs to be a complicated array. The first thing needs to be the position and then the item data. So we can just we can account for that. But let me leave a note here for myself. Data is an array. It should contain item position and item data. I love building a function and then never calling it. Yeah. Okay. Self.position, self.item data. There we go. That should do it. Bum, 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 bum. Split this in half. Still a crash. Trying to assign value of type object to a variable of type array. Oh, this needs to be an array of data. I think there's a reason for that, but I'm not going to look too deep into it. I'm just going to accept and move on. What now? Oh, yeah, I can't pass an actual resource. I'm expecting to pass a string, and then I will load the string. So I need to get the name of the resource, not the actual resource. Self.itemData.name. Resource name? No, it needs to not be a name. It needs to be path to the resource object. Godot get path to resource object. Your resource path. Okay, great. You promise that's it? Chuck a reference at the top. That's all it takes. Future me will thank me if I do that. Well, we did it. The problem is the item didn't get split. Okay. So that works, but we didn't get a new item. But let's see, is this an issue where it's like, this is happening on the server, but not on the client? find the item and drag it in the code editor. It'll give you the UID instead of a hard path. You can move things around without breaking. Well, that won't work in this case because I don't know which item data I need to load. I'm doing it dynamically. So if I split it again, is it actually splitting? Like, before I forget, let me leave myself a note. Data here is an array. It's kind of bespoke right now to do build a data array building function to make my life easier. Cool. Why is this not? First of all, it's not reducing the amount of the first item, and that should be synced, so there's no excuse for this not working. Stack quantity should be getting reduced, and it's not. All right, I see I have a print line. What's the stack amount, or what's the split amount? Is that accurate? Three, yeah. 1, yeah. 5, yeah. Okay, so the number being passed to the RPC handler is correct. So it's not a case of like, oh, I'm just goofing. So the stack quantity here is not being adjusted. Okay. Let's roll on with some print lines. If we see, yeah, that is correct. But it does not appear to be reflecting in my UI. Okay, this is the point where I go, is it updating on the server but not the client? This looks like the server. This looks like the coins because I can see it. Nope, this is actually a key. Why are, no, there's definitely more than one item on this. Oh, maybe if I drop the coins, they will become visible. There they are. Coin, okay. The coins have a variable stack quantity, 10. Okay, let's pick this up. Not being updated. Why is this number not being updated? But it's updated here. Why is the inspector not showing me this item anymore? Oh, maybe because it's not loaded. Okay, this, I'm pretty sure this is a client. This being broken is, oh no, this is, yeah, this is the client. This is the client. This being broken is not necessarily a sign of anything. Why is that not updating? $61 item, animatable body 2D. That's you. I will note that I'm also not creating an item. All right, so we have made 61 item. There's no 62 item. New item is 66. I don't believe it. All right, is this the UI? No, this is the client. This is the server. Just checking. Yeah, that's a server UI. Do I see 66? It would be at the bottom. Yeah, I don't see it. No such item. Okay. It should be the server saying this. Yes, the server is saying this. So it's not an issue of authority. Which, I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be. Why is this not updating? And why is my item not iteming? Main menu. When I spawn an item, I'm just spawning it. I don't need to do anything else. Item spawner.spawn item. Okay, thank you. Should be handling everything for me. But even if this was an issue of like I'm using the spawner wrong, my stack should still be getting updated. Why not? More prints and asserts. Well, I don't know where else to put them. Like I can even put a breakpoint in there, and I just don't think that'll help me figure out what's going on. Maybe it will. Let's try it. Breakpoint. Split amount is 1. New item exists. There it is. It's got a stack quantity of 1. If we look at our stack quantity, our stack quantity is 3. We've got the right multiplayer authority. Let's just step into the next step. Okay, if new item exists, so yeah. We get the player thing. Yeah, there it is. Yep. And then we add item to inventory. And there is an item param here. So like, oh. Oh, wait a minute. I see the problem. Ah. Oh. Whoops. So this works. This works fine. Everything is great. We get the item, we split it off, and now we have this new set of coins, and we go, okay, we need to add this to the inventory. So we call the inventory getter, time to add this to the inventory. And the inventory getter says, wait a minute, does this already exist? I need to combine all stacks that I see. that's a stack. There are coins here. Let me just add you to the stack. So we immediately split the coins and then we immediately put them back into the stack. Brilliant. A plus. Okay, so we should make this optional. Skip stack. Bool equals false. And stack. Attempt to stack. Okay, so we've made this new function, and now we need to go to our split RPC, and when we add that, we need to tell it to not attempt to stack. Because... oh my god. Give me the RPC handler. Add item to inventory, do not stack. There we go. Instant crash. Oh no, it's not a crash. It's just a breakpoint. It works. What if we do it again? It works. What if we do it again? Yes. Oh, it'd be really nice if I could type a number and it would update the bar there. Sick. That is excellent. We're gonna mark that as done, but I'm also going to look at how do I make the bar accept go all the way when there's no place to split anymore. I can do that. Give me a second though. I'm just gonna clean up a little. I don't need these. It didn't make sense that wasn't working. That part was gonna make me go insane. Try to split with the full house. I mean, if my inventory is full, like get. It should just drop it on the floor. That's the default behavior of that function. So by breakpoint a beer later. Bump. 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 Oh. Well, that's a bug. Okay, so that should not happen. But also, like, what if we get this? Where does that torch end up? It doesn't move. Huh. Why is that the behavior? If we go into our inventory component, we should see that when the item is full, if we try and get it and it can't get it because there's no slot, then it just doesn't do anything. Which means that if we pick up the coin, it's going to inherit the position of our existing coin, and that is let's just when we split the item, don't give it our position. Give it the player's position. That should be fine. Okay, and then we split. Oh, wait, this is the server. The server doesn't have a player. This is fine. We can get our collectible component. We have a collectible component. Collector.position. Get. Okay, split. Yeah. What happens if we try and split something that doesn't have a collectible component? That should never happen. We should guard against that, though. Well, okay, we should guard against that on the RPC level, because we should be making sure that... Are you allowed to split this? I've put to-dos in place for all RPCs, because none of the RPCs check bounds right now, and that is... I'm going to put that off till the very end. It's important to do that, because, security, but it's not important to do that from a bug stopping standpoint, from just getting the thing out the door standpoint. We're going to say that this is good. What was I doing? There was something I was about to do before I tested this. Yes. It was the UI component, the split item menu. I would like to be able to just type a number, and then this will just automatically snap to. This might be more complicated than I want it to be. So let me just make a to-do for myself, and I'll figure it out later. To-do, make the item, the H slider on the item splitter. Listen to number keypad. Because I just want to be able to type like 5, and then I get this snaps to 5. Or if I type 50, it'll snap to 50. Maybe the way to do that is to have an invisible text edit. And then when you open this, that secretly grabs the focus. And does that work? Can I just have invisible things grab focus? Hide an input, draw focus, accept value, update state. Yeah. If that works, I mean, we can try that before we move on. Text edit. Invisible. And then whenever I type a number, try and make this try and set this equal to that. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. It's fine. Text changed. Connect. This has text. If text is what happens if I try and call int on something that's not an int? Like if I pass in blueberry to int, what do I get? Do I get a number, or do I get an error? I get a 0. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. If it's greater than 0, then try setting the value equal to text int text. Oh, yeah, I need to plop that in there. Boop. Boop. You can have them visible off screen at y 10,000. That's true. Let's try with the invisible first. Godot give invisible control focus. Okay, so it has to be visible to get focus, but it doesn't have to be in this HBox container or in the universe. Let's try modulating it first before we, because if we can just set its alpha to 0, maybe that's fine. Why is it still here? Whatever, it can be there. And I want it to get focus once this is created. On ready. Func ready. What is this? No, I want to make this the give focus. Grab focus. There we go. Okay. All we have to do now is, first of all, make sure it doesn't crash. Great. Cannot do that on a null value. Why is it null? It's on ready. And this is the ready function. Am I... What? Do I really have to do this? I thought onReady was supposed to make sure that this is ready onReady. Whatever. Let's just put it in here in the set item. Why is it null? Oh, I moved it. That's the reason. Ah, that's the reason. Yeah. Whoops. Oh no, wait, did this update? It might have updated. I'm not sure. Let's see. In other engines, you have a window to set the script's loading order. Yeah, I think it's you just get what Godot wants to give you. Oh, okay, so that works. Hey, that works. Yeah. Is there a way to say if you click on this 9 patch rect, just give the focus to the invisible number text edit? Probably. Can I connect two things? I would actually like to connect it to the split item menu. Is this going to break something if I do this? It's like you shouldn't spam get focus like that. That's going to cause horrible. So that still works. If I click here and then, oh, that still works? How do I lose focus? I don't know. Maybe this is unnecessary. What? No. Disconnect. It's fine. I just don't entirely understand. Okay. Oh, that's a problem. That should not be attached to the main. That should be attached to a canvas group. Actually, that is happening because this is a control. But I don't think I can nest canvas groups. What do I do? Maybe I make this just a node? Does split item menu need to be a control? I don't think there's anything in here particular that I'm relying on being a control. I can't make this a canvas group. Let me just verify that. Yeah, it's going to complain. But maybe I can make this a node. All right. I lost focus issue in my pull down console script. Never solved it. Yeah, if it works. That's kind of what it matters at the end of the day. If it works, you just know not to jump into that pit. Okay, this is still happening, and that shouldn't be because... All right, I need to stare at main for a second. Dear main. Oh, it's in a canvas layer. That's why. This is probably very expensive, but it's okay. We're not going to split very often, so... Yeah, that feels... I feel like that fixed it, but also that's putting the split focus in a dumb spot. Let's make it not be in a dumb spot. Position... There's got to be a way to... Godot put window in center of screen. How do I get that? It's like there's a function probably viewport get window size. Yeah, okay. Display server, I've never seen that before. I mean, we can try this. Tabs? Spaces? So first of all, are those real? It didn't crash, so I guess they're real. Let's go ahead and, what was it recommending? Center position, screen size divided by 2 minus window size divided by 2. Why are these different? Position equals center posts. Oops. That's not the center. That's not even trying. Why don't we just do window size divided by 2? Okay, that's not correct. Oh, no, that might be correct, but it needs to be a little bit offset. And also, let me just make sure. Okay, so we should probably set it up so that if we open up a second split window, it closes all other. So I think I know what the AI was trying to do with the code. It's not quite right, but if we get rid of those, minus the size of the UI element. Var UI element size equals element dot layout. That is not transform. Ordering, texture, material. Okay, one of these will have a thing that will tell me it's what its size is reported as. Probably that. Okay. Because we want the center of the UI to be in the center of the screen, and that didn't work. We can't divide 2i and vector 2. Which one is the vector 2i? What? This is a vector 2? Or this is a vector 2i? Really? Huh. Big if true. No, it's cheaper to do this. Non-existent int constructor. What? It's right there. Oh, this is vector 2. This is a vector 2. Oh. Uh. Whatever, just turn this into a vector 2. It's fine. Yeah, that feels right. And then if we make the screen bigger, nope. I probably don't want window size. I probably want display size. Yeah, that's probably what I want. Great. It's gone. Oh, that's my monitor size. I want the window size. What? Okay, so this is getting my monitor, getting the monitor size, and then we're getting the size of the game. And then we're calculating the center position. os.get window size. No. This is what I was expecting to get. Jeez, where was this like 10 minutes ago? Oh no. What Godot is this? Stupid. Oh, I hate this. Use a camera 2D to center on the node 2Ds. This feels okay. This feels like something that I can solve if I just Google hard enough. That doesn't have to be right now. We can move on. For now, we'll just settle for. I mean, we were almost there. We'll settle for this. None of the UI is in a good spot right now, anyway. But that is an egregiously bad spot. Done to do. Figure out how to center the control screen. Let's move on. I need to add head, torso, legs, and feet slots. I did not draw any of that, so what we can do instead is just have a placeholder label. That says head, that says torso, that says legs, and says feet slots. And then when we're smarter, we can draw the sprite, put it in there, and it should seamlessly, like, the code, it should not be a huge deal to transfer the code logic from label to sprite. So me go to... Oh, wait, no, that will be a problem because I've already written the code for that. This is supposed to be like a slam dunk. Shoot. Where is it? Subcomponent. Inventory shape. Yeah. Set shape. We're just loading a texture. Ah. We're returning a sprite 2D. Can we just like draw really fast? No, I'm not that kind of. We have plenty of junk art. We can just grab something. And then just make it transparent. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. What I am thinking is we can just add the body shape for now, and then we'll to-do the rest. And we can add the logic because we only have a torso item. We don't actually have head, leg, or feet items in the game yet. And that's not going to be a particularly interesting exercise. It's going to be tedious. So we can get the hard part in. Shape body. And then we'll just that texture equals. Since we're only implementing one thing, we can just grab the placeholder Godot icon. And then to do draw, to do add head, legs, feet. The important thing is making this body slot matter. That once we get that logic in, I think we'll be able to replicate that pretty handily. We want to make it so that players have a body slot. So that is handled in the inventory component, I believe. There's a function at the bottom. Set player inventory shape. Yeah, I even left it to do for myself. Make this not dumb. Not this time. Var body equals item slots 2. We can just make this a helper function. set shape helper. We'll take in a inventory shape hand. Shape is an int. Slot is an item slot, which is just an item, I believe. No, it's an inventory slot. Yeah. Okay. And then we just take this logic. Boom. 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 Okay, we don't even need this anymore. What happens if we start? Oh, we can't do that. Oh, I forgot to load. Take a look at this string. This string points to an image. I don't want you to go look at that image, though. I just want you to look at the string. All right. That looks correct. Now we have a body slot. Origami Pete has a to-do plugin for Godot. No double handling, a bit of code and actions. What's a to-do plugin? I'm just going to add these. There's nothing stopping us from just cutting every piece of this placeholder Godot image just for our purposes. Okay. And then we go back to our inventory component and we got to add some more shapes. All right, we have a bunch of placeholder. I don't need to add that anymore, but I do need to draw them still. Technically, this satisfies what that was supposed to be. So we're just going to say semi-done. Once they're drawn, they'll be done. Now we need to make the body slots matter. This is going to be hard, but once we get that done, hand swapping should be easy. It's just going to be a button to doesn't actually have to be a button. It could just be a config that we set on character creation. No, let's make them swappable live. And then player KO and death. And then that's a stopping point. If we get that far, this will be a successful day. Make the body slots matter. Come on, do it. The way that we're going to handle this is we need to check whenever an item slot is about to receive an item, it first needs to check, can I receive that item? And if not, then we need to acknowledge, we need to reject in two situations. One situation is when we're getting the item, and the other situation is when we are dragging the item to a location. Swapping, basically. So let's start with getting. Just rewrite this function entirely. Yep. When we add the item to the inventory, we'll ignore all that. If the item slot is empty, we still need to check before we proceed. Does the item slot align with the shape of the thing that we're putting? So I probably need a helper function that says, does this item fit in this item slot? Hold on, let me rename this function. I think there's a button to make this do really fast in the editor, but I don't know it. Okay. Function. Check item slot shape. Given an item and a item slot. We should return a Boolean. If item slot dot Now I have to decide. I've been putting this off for a long time, but I have to decide. Some item slots can handle anything. Hands, anything can go in your hands. There's no limit. I don't want there to be a limit. How do I represent that? Do I just hard code hands as the exception? Let's just hard code it for now. If item slot dot shape dot equals inventory shape dot hand, return true. Is this right? Did I do it right? Is it actually called shape? It is called shape, okay. If there is no item slot shape, return true. If the item, an item would have a, I need to decide now. How am I going to represent the shape of an item? That could just be a flag in the item data. Is there any downside to me saying every item has a particular shape? It'll either be a shape of a hand, the shape of a head. Am I going to have a situation where I want an item to be able to go into multiple shapes? Functionally, in multiple shapes. Because anything can go into the hand, and that's hard-coded. But, probably, but the only way to know for sure is to just do it. So let's add a new var item shape int. Why is this complaining? Why is this complaining? Oh, it's complaining because inventory component's broken. Okay, so if the item slot doesn't have a shape or has the shape of hand, we can put anything in there. If the item data dot shape, item shape doesn't exist, return false. If it doesn't have a shape, it can only go into hands or empty slots. Else, if the item shape equals the item slot, return true, return false. Oh my god. The way I set this up, I have to do shape.shape. Great. I'm so good at this. Why did I do that? Because I have tags. I probably want to have tags on my items as well. Okay, so let's go back here. This shouldn't be an int. This should actually be an inventory shape. Yes. Yes, that means I have to type shape.shape. Okay, but the logic is there. It only goes in there if the item is aligned with it going in there, or if it's a hand, anything going to hand. So the way I have this set up, well, not true yet, because I haven't set it up yet, but the way I have it set up in just a moment, nothing can go into my head, my body, my legs, or my feet slots, because I haven't set anything up with that shape yet. Let's go make that happen. If the slot is empty and check item and slot shape. We need to pass in the item that we're checking, and we'll pass in the slot. Item param. Okay. That actually should be that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's working. What if I try and get and it's full? It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, now we need to block the drag. We need to block the swap. Before we perform the swap, we should first check to make sure both things being swapped fit into the slots they're about to go to. If they don't, deny the swap. Block the swap. I think once we do that, we're done. We've done it. And there's no partial credit. So if it's either they both fit or we're done. And if the item is null, then okay, sure. Are you talking about irregular shaped items like in Tetris for slots? What I was thinking of was like, do I want to have a situation where like I can put a backpack in a backpack slot or on a back slot? So like, I am thinking of like, there's going to be a slot for a backpack, so you can expand your inventory. And if that's not enough, you can put a backpack on your back, and then you can have two backpacks basically. But to do that, the backpack needs to be both a back slot and a backpack slot. And well, the way I have it set right now, I can't do that. But is that okay, or can I just hard code bypass that to be like, backpacks can go in the backpack slot. They're a back item, but they can go in the backpack slot. Hard code. Maybe that's fine. But that's not elegant. So I may end up refactoring at some point, just to make that possible. It depends, because if it's just for backpacks, I'll hard code it. But the worry is that like, well, I'm gonna have like a dozen other things with that same exception, and if I have that, I don't want a dozen hard coded situations going on, because that's just a recipe for spaghetti code, which I would prefer to avoid. But it doesn't have to block me right now. Let's just keep going for now. So we need to do checks, and I need to change the name of this checker function. Check shape compatibility. Compatibility. God, I hope I didn't misspell that. Okay. We're going to check shape compatibility twice. But we want to only check shape compatibility for things that exist. So let me just, if slot one dot item slot slot 2. if they're not compatible, we're done. We quit. If slot2.item slot. Make sure those are compatible, and if they're not, we're done. Get out. All right, that should be it. Everything else should just fall into place. So we can no longer do this. That's just blocked. We can still do this. Yeah, our inventory's full. Okay. Now, there's one more thing we need to do to call this done. We need to make the chest armor something that can go on our body slot. Before we proceed, let me actually put some chest armor next to us so I don't have to go hunting for it. Item, chest armor, right there. Great. Let's go ahead and go to the item data. This item needs to have its shape set. Okay. Yeah. It went in. It is fine that it doesn't go directly into the body slot by default. I'm okay with leaving that there. Maybe I'm not. Maybe, okay. Using it, maybe we should define that to mean actively go look for the body slot and try and equip yourself in there. Swap yourself with the body slot. To do default use if inventory shape swap with that slot. So if you right click, if you try and use the chest armor, it should immediately try and go in your body slot. Yes. I think we can do that. We don't have to do that online. We can just do that offline. That's not a complicated thing. There's one more thing, and then we call victory. This equip function, which is garbage. This gets called every time we equip any or we move anything around. Yeah, it's just there's a signal. Anytime the inventory changes, we call equip. And right now the chest armor needs to be in a hand to function, and let's make that not the case. Let's make that function only if it's in a chest slot. The talking magical sword is the thing that breaks your lovely class definitions. It's a weapon, but also an NPC, and assume you can find on its own with combat stats. Well, yeah, I mean, that is a different problem entirely. We'll save that for expansion content after we've published this game, and we need to write a hack together to make that functional. All right. I mean, we don't even have swords aren't even where they need to be yet, let alone talking swords. If slot.item data get script.get global name is chest armor. If slot.item slot and slot.shape and slot.shape.shape equals. What the heck is all this? Honestly, I should rework this to be look through all of the basic slots in your inventory. Does the head slot have a head item in it? If it does, go grab the benefit of that and then just apply it to the damage model or whatever. But I've left the to do here to do that in the future. We don't have to do that now. I don't know how we verify that this is working other than by going to the remote, looking at the inventory handler for me. All right, we have no weapon. And we still have, or we have no armor and we still have no armor. Ah, shoot. Oh, that's a server thing only though. It does not get checked on the client. Only the server needs to know what you're actually wearing. Damn it, it didn't work. Why is this empty? What? Is there more than one player? No. Where's my armor? Did I not equip it? It's in. I'm confused. Oh, there's no, it's not attached as a child. It would be in inventory slot 4. There it is. So it's there. It's just not being recognized as armor. If slot.item slot and slot.shape and slot.shape.shape equals, let's print what the slot.shape.shape.shape is. It's just a ref counted. Damn it. I don't know what I expected, but I was expecting better. Okay. Oh, is the problem that I unnamed the armor? No, it has a class name. Can we get to here? Oh, it actually breakpointed. Okay. Are we getting to the next line? We are getting to the next line. So we are setting armor equal to that inventory slot. Huh. Well, why isn't it working? Was it working before? We don't have a weapon. We don't have the shield. We don't have armor. Get out of here, dude. Oh, that was the server. Okay. Get out of here. Okay, if we go to the remote and we look at ourselves, we have armor. Okay, why didn't it work before? It's working now. Just to verify. What? Why isn't this working? I'm certain this works. Why is this wrong? Oh, I don't have that key. I'm certain this works because if we hit this guy, it's going to do 4 damage. 4 damage, yeah. No, we're doing weapon damage. So why is this wrong? Oh, this just doesn't update? Okay. Done. Add hand swapping. I just want this to swap the shapes, the inventory shapes. It's just a convenience feature. When we're setting up the body slots, how are we... Shape sprite. A real simple way to do this would be to just get the left hand and the right hand and swap them. Great. We just need to call this function on command. Could add a button somewhere. Could add it to the chat element. Let me add it to the health bar at the very bottom. This is something that should go in an options menu. I have an options menu. Why am I not just putting it in there? Wait a minute. Add child node. Oh, so much room for improvement here. But let's just get this functional. Okay. Input handler dot. Swapping the hand needs to be done on the server end. Oh. Wait. No, this is annoyingly complicated. Because the shape is set. The shape matters to the server. It's not just a visual cue. But I only want this to be a visual thing, a visual change. If this is just going to be a visual change, let's go back. Let me rethink this, because the whole purpose of this was like you might have one magic hand and one non-magic hand, and I don't think it's that much to ask for being able to choose which hand is the magic one and which one is the non-magic one. And well, it's not the item slots that need to swap. It's the UI for the item inventory slots. But I think those are connected here. Yeah. So we need to find the thing that these are connected to and then just swap them. Is there like a really easy function for that? Godot swap controls. Objects. I know, okay. That's not helpful. I was hoping for like a magic function to do that. I don't want, you can swap it by doing the traditional. Godot change order of children. Thank you. Move child to index. That's probably all we need to do is we need to take the second child and move it to the first. That's all we need to do. To do that, we need to get the H box that they exist in, which we should be able to do because everything's parented and childed up. So let's go back to this function here. Swap hands. Easy. Let's just get the second hand. Item slots .1. And we can only do this once. The way that I'm setting it up. Or we don't have to do that. We can make it robust. For various definitions of robust. Let's grab the UI node. Nope, that's not. No, it is right. UI node dot get parent. This gets us the H box, and then in the H box we need to get child. Get child 1. It's weird that we're doing UI work in the inventory component. This is weird. This is probably not where this function needs to go. I don't know. And then we just move child. Oh, I didn't actually finish writing this. input handler dot player dot get node, oh, object handler dot get inventory component dot player dot swap hands. Okay. Yep. Now all we need to do is reverse those. So we don't have broken inverted hands. How do I toggle a Boolean? Yeah, I could do not. Oh, but that needs to be 0 and 1. All right, that should be it. All right, and then there's one way to confirm that that's the case. If we make one of those hands magic. How do I do that? I need to, before I get the sprite, I need to set tag magic. Oh, I have that function. Okay. Set slot shape. Left hand dot slot shape dot set tag inventory shape dot tags dot magical. Uh-oh. Why didn't that work? That should have worked. Why didn't that work? Let me see that hand. Inventory component for this. What's its shape? It has a tag, and that tag is 0. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I keep making that mistake. If it has 0, Why doesn't that work? That should work. Print tags. What? What? Are we calling get sprite too early? When are we calling get sprite here? Set shape sprite. Ah, that's the magic function we need to capture. Set shape sprite. When is this function getting called? Oh, it's being called on attached env slot. When is that being called? Yeah, it's being called at the end of this function. So we're setting this tag too late. We just need to update this function to take in tags. If tags why is this mad? I don't want to have to set in a blank array. Okay. Oh, I can just set it null. Okay, null is fine. For tag in tags. Oh, is it because I'm doing this in the wrong order? That could be. That's the, okay, I'm just dumb. Dot set tag. Tag. We're done. We just got to pass in the tag. There we go. One hand is magic. It's kind of hard to see on screen, but it's glowing. And then we can swap them. Yeah, it works. I meant to ask because I had to go make dinner. Did you settle on using groups for things like a group name for coins? Nope. I'm using class names. It was just because I've already gone down that rabbit hole, so I'm sticking to it. This is done. How valuable is that? Not really. But I wrote it down. now we need to add player KO and death states. So death is not going to be complicated. So I'm thinking that players should have a respawn location. And then anytime you use a Revivify Shrine, and when I say a respawn location, actually we could just give them the Revive Shrine. And then players are in charge of reviving themselves. We've got a signal on death. We can just listen for that in our health component. And we can go on death, take our inventory, drop it on the floor, move our position to the revive shrine that we are connected to. Or if we're not connected to one, to our spawn position. A revive shrine has 8 faces around the outside. Yeah, but we don't need to worry about that. We'll let the engine figure out where we need to spawn. Oh, I never made it light up when you right click on it. Did I ever implement this? This is the time to implement this. There's no use function, and the state signal is blocked, so if one character makes it back and you have to revive 3 characters, do they just appear on top of the shrine? Yeah, but then the engine will just shove them out of the shrine. So as long as I don't design the map in a way that they'll get shoved into a wall or something, that's fine. It'll be the same thing as what happens when you like go into a door and then you close the door on yourself. Like, come on. Like the engine will figure it out. Item drops can be the same code, work around the space. Well, item drops drop you the item where you're standing, because items and players can coexist. So that's fine. That doesn't need to be tinkered with. I should track where I spawn. Should I? Okay. I could just track the last revive shrine, the revive shrine that I'm connected to. I could track that. But if I'm not connected to one at all, how do I figure out where I should spawn? Maybe what I need to do is define like a global spawn point. Like, this is the spawn point when you join the game. And then if I can't find a revive shrine to spawn in, I'll spawn there instead. And then I can just define that in the map. This is the global spawn point. Does a monster drop more than one item? They can. There's no limit to the number of items. I can have 40 items in a square, no problem. Like I've tested that. The interface gets clunky. Because I don't know how to be like, I want to pick up one thing out of this pile. But I also don't actually care. Because I can get it all and then just move it. It would be nice if there was a slight little offset every time you put an item down, so that if I put down like a bunch of breads, they would be. You could tell that that's happening, but whatever. Yeah, like that's 3 breads. It's fine. Did I ever make oh, it's no. Where did the glass just go? These stack, but where did that glass that I just consumed just go? Huh. I just deleted an item. Should I be worried about that? To do. I deleted a bottle somehow. Figure that one out. But that doesn't have to slow us down. We just need to get player KOs and deaths in, and then we are good to go. So first of all, we need to connect to our health component on death. What? No, in the player. I'm just close all tabs. Open the player. Give me that. Give me that. Dot on death. Dot connect. And I wrote here on KO and death. So I actually want to have a state between death and alive. So I'm calling the signal on death, but we'll call this function like the last chance function. And then we need to make that function. God, this thing is huge. Okay, we should disable all inputs, or we should disable movement while we're unable to, while we're in last chance. That means we need to have a state for like can move, can't move. I haven't thought about this at all, and this feels like something I should think about a lot. Maybe we put this off, and then I pick up add walking hazard. swap these. We'll call that, because I know how to implement walking hazards. I've thought about that. I kind of know how to implement ranged weapons and ammo. I've thought about that. We'll come back to this. Because that's going to be a complicated one. And then maybe if we pick up this one as well, we can still be a successful stream. I am going to implement a new mechanism, though. We're just going to call it fire. Maybe I'll call it ground fire. It's going to have similar logic to a pressure plate, except instead of using a mechanism, it's going to hurt the person who stepped on it. That is its purpose in life. It's to cause pain. Why is there a sprite path to the lever in the pressure plate? That's confusing and annoying. Get that out of here. Fire is just the Godot icon. I think I need to scale that. And then we've got the collider signal. Has overlapping bodies. Get overlapping bodies. And we don't care about the flag. For body and CS overlapping bodies. Okay. So every time we collide with it, subtract 4 hit points. Boom. This does not need a state component. We don't need the state signal. We don't need to create a state component. We don't need to do that. I'm not sure why we're setting the collision layer. Oh, it's so that we can walk on it. Yes. Collidable component. Yes, that is what we need. Yeah. We've got this flag handler, but we don't care. Fire does not need that. Let's go to the, oh shoot. I don't have a space for it on my tile map layer. Go to the tile map layer, open this up, look at the mechanisms, and I don't have a space for it. What was this? I never set that. Let's look at our helper. It's a wall torch. We can just make that ground fire. Oh, we should add a light component to it. Circle of Death had to reload. Oof. Not good. Looks like we're up though right now. Oh, there were a few drop frames. That's not good. If we run this, does this just work? Nope. Why can I not scale this? Oh, I need to do it to the sprite, not to the texture. Oh yeah, I put them in walls, because they're wall torches, duh. What if I put them not in the wall? Server has to flip the packets so they work upside down. Space. That's how you keep them robust. All right, so this works. It's kind of ugly, but it works. Gonna say that's a victory, but before I do, I am going to add a light component to the ground fires. Let me grab the wall torch. Not as bright as a proper fire. Actually, they should be even brighter. Yeah, there we go. Look at it crush my frame rate. Is that a coincidence? Or is the light level actually too high? I don't see why that would be. It would actually be excellent if I had a damage animation, a fiery damage animation. So let me leave the to-do for myself. So to-do, graphics for the fire, to-do, fiery damage animation. I have damage animations and I know they're garbage. They're just placeholder. Let me make a fiery one. And then move on. Also, with the wall torch, while I'm at it, let's just make this a little weaker than a real torch. Oops, that's not obsidian. Do I want to add ranged weapons and ammo? So if I stop today, this is all I need to get done tomorrow for it to be a successful weekend. Do I think I can do that? I mean, add a mob that creates walking hazards. You can create a mob. It drops down. It spawns ground fires, but those ground fires are on a timer. I'll put that off to tomorrow. I'll put this all off to tomorrow. Add ranged weapon and ammo. Yeah. In project settings, grep debug, activate that thing out of FPS at interest. Okay. I don't see it. Oh, it's down here? We're between 52, 145. Oh, it's because we have a server and a client. I don't know why that is like that. Is this the server? Yeah, this is the server. Oh, if it's minimized, it has a different frame rate? Really? That's crazy. I did not know that. Okay, so this is the client. We're gonna close this and then give me the server. I'll put it on this screen. Yeah, so sometimes frame rate's dipping, which is real bad. Given all that we've implemented, nothing we've implemented should be a performance bottleneck. The Godot has some pretty good debugging tools, so I can hunt that down. But yeah, figure out why the frame rate dips sometimes. It's not dipping right now. All right. I've given myself quite a few to-dos, and I probably won't get them done by the next stream, but I will get them done before the end of the month. It's all mostly just drawing. Ooh, we'll get there. We'll get there. $16 milliseconds is fine. A couple hiccups is great at this stage. If it's just like a rare pause because I'm in the editor and whatever, that's fine. That's fine. Having these numbers are good, and if I can hold on to those numbers, they're good. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything with the it dropped to 54 at some point. Whatever. Anyway, we need to get these done tomorrow, and then I'm on track. Do I think I can do that tomorrow? Maybe. After that, all that's left is this pile. I need to implement this. It's actually very important that my game has stats and stat tracking. This is, I don't remember what that is. I should implement the spellbook and the syllable stone and the cauldron. Everything else can get pushed off till stage 3. So, is Tuesday still June? It is. So the rest of these are getting done on Tuesday. The rest of these that don't get pushed off to stage 3. And then we are out of stage 2. Whoa, it's a lot that we've got tasked for ourselves, but we can do it. I can do it. I have to build anyway, serial results. Oh, yeah. Because this is all debug junk. Yeah. I get spikes because I have my own procedural sound generator. I need to move it to its head. So yeah, but you know why that's happening. See, it's fine if you know why you're getting spikes. Like if I'm getting spikes because because I'm loading 1,000 images that I can hide behind a loading screen, and I just haven't done that yet. Okay, that's fine. But nothing I've implemented should be causing a spike. So if there are spikes, like a 51, if that is happening, I just want to make sure that's not like, oh, I accidentally added an extra loop and having 10 coins on the map is causing it to cry. But yeah, hey, I can profile it later. Profiling it now is a little early, premature. Anyway, I am out of time. And I've got an angry cat to feed. So I am going to go. This is a success. Got to this point. Next time, we'll get KOs in. We'll get ranged weapons in. We'll get just some gooey stuff. Great. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was fun. Hope your game dev is going well. Hope you're playing lots of fun games and stuff. And yeah, thanks for helping me. I'm still learning and still improvising and still making mistakes. I don't think you ever stop making mistakes, but learning, at some point you'll learn the engine, right? Right? Anyway, see you all later.